Oyo State Police Command has arrested 2 suspects over the exhumation of corpses and sale of human body parts to ritualists. The arrests follow the tip-off received by detectives at the Iyaganku Divisional Police Headquarters in Ibadan. Command spokesperson Adewale Osifeso confirmed the development in a statement on Friday, revealing that officers searched the residence of one of the suspects in the Muslim area of Ibadan. During the operation, police recovered a female human torso, severed limbs, and dried bones stored in a bag and paint buckets. The suspects reportedly confessed to exhuming corpses from a cemetery in Awa, Ijebu, Ogun State, and selling body parts to ritualists. His confession led to the arrest of a second suspect, a septuagenarian who admitted to purchasing human remains. The case has been transferred to the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation, with efforts underway to track down others involved in the illegal trade. Commissioner of Police Johnson Ademola has urged cemetery managers to increase security to prevent further incidents. He also advised transporters to scrutinize passengers' luggage to avoid inadvertently aiding criminal activities. This is rather sad. You know, they said sometimes the dead is not even able to rest in peace. What are your thoughts on this report?
It's terrible. It raises more questions than answer. First, what are the rules? Like the police authority asked the cemetery managers to be more careful and thank you, and improve security around the cemeteries and other. The questions that came to my mind is, do we have rules guiding cemeteries? Do we? I don't know. I just wish we could have an answer to that. If there is none, I think there should be rules guiding cemetery. I mean, it's not one of those things we should overlook that it's not just cemetery people, especially Africans, especially Nigerians, especially in my part of the people are emotionally attached to their dead. When you hear of all the befitting burial talks and all that going, it is because people are attached to their dead. Even though they are dead, they don't just see that corpse as refuse that need to be dumped. They want to treat it with some respect. That's the reason they go all out to organize, the befitting burial, dress the corpse and all those stuff. You don't just allow it to. So it will be an aberration for that family. It will be something of another grieving point for a family, having done all the things they should do to offer their dead a befitting resting, as it were. And you realize that somebody went behind to sever those bodies. To the family involved, they won't see it as if you severed the corpse. They see it as if you severed that love person. So the pain, the grieving is going to be as if you killed their dead again. If the dead could die.
Wow.
Again. That's what is going to appear to them, that you killed their dead again. They don't look at it as if, it's already there. And these are the things that could likely trigger conflict. And violent conflict in society if not properly checked. So this is the reason, like the police guy said, the cemetery managers should tighten up security. But in calling the security manager, you see, this is not the first time this type of incident has happened. There has always been talk about some of the security some of the cemetery personnel conniving with some of these unscrupulous elements to carry out this type of act. So I think the only saving grace that he's taking it to the managers, not just the workers. Yes, but for each specific cemetery, again, I ask, do we have rules guiding them? Are there, what kind of people work there? Is there a way to check them, or we just feel like, it's in a cemetery, you put anybody there, whether they are questionable character or not? Because if you have people who respect some of the ethos of society, that person probably would have, that is taken into consideration, or assuming that they did this in connivance with some of the people working there. You would have some you won't want to do anything as it were that runs against your cultural belief or your societal belief. So I agree, security should be beefed up around there. But then, what are the rules that guide our cemetery? What kind of activities should happen there? What kind of people should get in there beyond those people who work there? Another danger is this: these persons who can sever a corpse, and all that. I would want to believe they do that because it's a corpse they saw. If in the process of going to see a corpse, these heartless people can even take a real person. Maybe if they meet an accident person, they could just be a danger to society. So I think they should be dealt with, because and then I think we also need to do more in our orientation.
I was going to talk about
in making, because this issue of money ritual, and if you look at it, although they said ritualists, but if you look at it very well now, follow the story, it may end to money ritual. People should need to understand that the best and easiest way to make money is through hard work. Money ritual, I don't want to say maybe it doesn't work or it works, but people should know that that is not the best way to go. And some of these people who promise you of becoming rich through ritual, have you asked how rich are they? Like, an incident happened in Anambra State recently. The Anambra State governor talking about one of the money ritualists, the native doctors they are arrested. He has been on a major clampdown of those people in his bid to sanitize the society. One of the native doctors arrested that has been making money ritual for young people. His own son is working as a waiter in a hotel in Owerri. So the question he posed, that if he could make all this other people rich, why is his son as a waiter? Why didn't he make his son rich?
Right.
So how true these things are, or maybe rather they just give them an opportunity to make these guys become.
What starts to believe that this works? Where did it stem from?
I think it's a combination of cultural and religious, traditional religious belief that they have some supernatural powers that can invoke wealth or something. Yeah, but it's high time society rise against such. This is where orientation comes in. The young people, apart from creating jobs in society which could take people away, but there's also a need to carry out a massive orientation to people that come, even if per chance this thing work, this is not the best way to make money. Yes, every culture, to the best, or most cultures I know in Nigeria, have stories of the consequences of ill-gotten wealth. It is time to emphasize that even if this thing per adventure works, it is still what it is, an ill-gotten wealth, and it has a consequence that makes your end worse than the beginning. So it's not a part that should be traded. So we need to beef up security. We need to, with regard to this, that we need to, look at the laws that guide the operation of cemeteries and all those things. But most importantly, there's also a need for orientation and reorientation of young person, and indeed for anybody that would want to trade this part of money ritual. We let people know that this thing does more harm to society than good.
Thank you so much.